This video is not meant as a diagnosis tool. However, if you connect with the things I talk about, consider seeing a professional for proper diagnosis and treatment. Hey, I'm Blossom, and I have OCD. OCD stands for Obsessive Compulsive Disorder. OCD is characterized by uncontrollable, reoccurring thoughts and/or behaviors. It is chronic, and although it eases with age and therapy or medication, it doesn't go away. OCD affects around 2% of the American population, and even more worldwide. Around 150 million people. Most people know OCD as someone being a clean freak or wanting things just so. However, it is much more severe than that. OCD causes intrusive thoughts and strong fears that compel repeated actions and behaviors. A person can be convinced that not performing these actions can cause terrible harm, such as you or a loved one being harmed or killed. Or they might have thoughts that can convince a person that they are inherently evil or dangerous. OCD can be broken down into its aspects: obsessions and compulsions. Obsessions are the mental side of the disorder. Obsessions are unwanted, intrusive, and repetitive, and the person must know they are unreasonable and excessive. Obsessions can be about anything, however, they normally fall under these categories: order and exactness, doubting, religious, contamination, sexual or sexuality, and violence. No matter what category they fall under, they must be unwanted, intrusive, and repetitive. Imagine someone following you around saying bad things or showing you disgusting photos over and over. Compulsions. Compulsions are normally the physical side of the illness. They are the thing that you see the most: hand washing, sorting things, counting. Compulsions are when a person is compelled to do something to relieve the stress caused by the obsessions. Compulsions ease the obsessions by helping give the person a sense of control. Rearranging things means your mother won't get in a car wreck. Counting floor tiles will make it so your friend won't get kidnapped. However, the relief isn't long-lasting and only encourages the disorder. Pure O-type. In some cases, both obsessions and compulsions are mental. This is known as pure O-type. This is an odd name considering it is not purely obsessive. Pure O-type is categorized when a person has obsessions and mental compulsions. This can show up as consistently ruminating constantly on the same thoughts or ideas to the point where it becomes distressing. This can commonly show up as intense self-doubt or self-hatred. For example, someone might be angry at their boss and have the thought of burning the office down. Of course, this person would not actually do this sort of thing. A normal person moves on from this thought. An OCD person stays on it, not on the thought of burning the office down. They're focused on the fact that they thought that thought in the first place. They obsess over it, compulsively thinking on it over and over again, eventually coming to the conclusion that they must be a terrible person for ever thinking it. That for thinking such a thing, they must not be a good person, or they must be a criminal. Even if they know logically they would never do it, and they have no history of such things. They become hyper-aware of anything to do with fire, doing everything to keep themselves away from gas or even the office for fear that they'll burn it down, despite having no actual will to do such thing and even a fear of it. They convince themselves they will act given the chance, or that they'll lose control. My own experience with this happened when I was 18. I got into a fight with my sister after I'd moved in with her, and I had the intrusive thought of stabbing her. Of course, I would never do that, but I became so afraid that I even thought about it for a single moment that I started to fear myself. That fear grew until I was convinced completely that I'd lose control randomly and end up stabbing her. So I locked myself in my room. I stayed away from her and knives and felt a deep fear being near them. I didn't want to be left alone with her because of this intense anxiety. I knew it wasn't logical. I knew I loved my sister and I wouldn't hurt her like that. I knew I had better self-control than that. But my OCD wouldn't let go of the feeling, the thought, the obsession. OCD often targets what you care about. taking hold of what you love and enjoy in life, and creating a fear to obsess over until you resort to your compulsions to gain control and prevent your fear from happening. I've suffered with OCD since I was little. When I was young, I would rearrange all the cans on the shelves at the store so their labels faced frontways, and I had to be physically dragged away by my mother at times. I did this because I fully believed that if I didn't, someone would die or get fired. Even if I knew this was irrational and I was repeatedly reassured. As I've grown older, my compulsions have become easier to handle. However, they can easily flare up or spike, and I need to quickly catch myself before they become serious. For example, being ADHD, I often stim to comfort myself, running my hands against walls, fidgeting with things, making noises, humming, or I say nice-sounding words. However, my OCD latches onto these things and can quickly turn something relaxing into something I feel like I have to do and repeat, or else something bad will happen, giving me serious anxiety. The only way to prevent it from worsening is to stop doing the thing and wait for the anxiety to pass, which is actually one of the main therapy methods for OCD. To be diagnosed with OCD, you must fit these 4 criteria: obsessions, compulsions. These obsessions and compulsions must take up at least 1 hour of your day each day, and they must interfere with your day-to-day life. If you suffer from OCD, it can be hard to talk about the thoughts and anxieties that come with it. It's easy to feel like you're going crazy or even just being overly dramatic. If you think you have OCD, please see a professional for diagnosis and treatment. It can change your life. It changed mine. Thank you for taking the time to learn about OCD and how it affects those with it. If you would like to learn more, check out the links in the description. Thanks.